Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome to Fana TV, the Travel Tech channel. Today is a new episode of Master Learning from Leaders, and I'm really pleased to welcome Osvaldo Mauro, co-founder and CEO of Propriety. How are you, Osvaldo? Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, sure, of course. We have a very great session today. I'm going to introduce the guest speakers shortly. We are going to discuss today about Google Hotel Ads and property promotion ads. So thanks to Osvaldo, he prepared a very insightful research. We will get more clarification around this part of the industry with Google's and how to manage, all the ads campaign and distribution. So would you like to introduce a little bit of the topics of the agenda, Osvaldo?
Yeah, for sure. I am the co-founder of Propriety, which is a startup that is doing in predictive inventory management. That means that we are enhancing the hotel's distribution, giving access to the sales channels, which are more profitable for the hotels. And among these channels, for sure, there is a Google Hotel Ads, which is a quite new and interesting sales channels. And because of this, we wanted the hotels to know a lot more regarding this opportunity and this sales channel. So we wrote a guide, a very comprehensive guide regarding this sales channel, and we published on our website, propriety.ai. And then we invited here in this live a few experts of the industry that are running big campaigns on Google Hotel Ads as intellectual property offices that are allowed as agencies to run hotel ads campaign, and as hotels we have a representative for a big chain in Greece. And because of these, we wanted to cover the guide and explaining to the hotels how this kind of advertising works, what is new for the industry, for the vacation rental as well.
That's cool. I'm sure it's gonna be really insight. And any question people are watching from home or from office, comments on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are watching the live show, guys. We're here to reply any of your question. Okay, at this point, let's introduce your guests. So we have Filippo, Melanie, and Vanessa. Cool. How are you guys? Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Cool.
Right,
let's do a quick introduction by starting from Filippo, maybe, where you are sitting, what you're doing, which company are you working from or representing today?
Hi everybody. I'm Filippo Fasolo. I work in AdsHotel, one of the very first companies all over the world that enable independent hotels to price advertising. Price advertising is the topic of today. So that kind of advertisements based on tech requirements like sharing rates and availability. The other part of it is this is one of the most interesting opportunities for all the independent hotels, because it seems like competing exactly in the same scenario of the OTAs. So I'm here as AdsHotel. I'm quite an expert on Google Hotel Ads. We were the first European company connected to Google, and here we are.
All right.
I'm really enjoying this deal.
Fantastic. Vanessa.
Hey, ciao. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm Vanessa, co-founder and marketing director of Rentals United. We're a channel manager specifically for vacation rentals, or the short-term rental industry. And we distribute around 160,000 listings onto channels, small and big. And just very quickly, I wanted to say why I'm wearing a tie today. I'm wearing a tie to raise awareness around the fact that there's not enough women on stage. Back last year, not enough women on stage, physical stage. And now I find also on online stages. So I'm still wearing a tie. I'm very happy to see Melanie there on this panel. But basically the message is, and we have a hashtag, it's a hashtag tie on stage. And the message is for organizers like you, Enzo, and Osvaldo in this case, to make sure to include a more diverse group of speakers, when you invite people.
I'm sure that our friend Rita Varga will.
No, she's in.
She's always in touch with me, asking me, please, Enzo, push more woman on the screen.
Yes, absolutely. No, well, she's right. We're right. Yeah.
Vanessa, we agree as well.
Good.
We fully agree. More women.
Good. That's so hashtag Thai on stage. Bring it on. More diversity in general, that is, yeah. Not just women. Okay.
Yes.
Melanie, are you sitting in southern France, right?
Yeah, I am in south of France. Hello, everyone. I'm a project manager officer in connectivity. I worked for approximately 7 years for a company that provided a channel manager for independent OTAs. And now I'm still working in connectivity, but for packages distribution, but it's still in connectivities. I'm still in connectivities, and I'm the ends in the subjects with the implementation of these connectivities.
Cool. All right. So, hi, Chandan. I see people are connecting. Hi, Federica. How are you? And Kat, how are you? You too. So,
good, Kat.
At this point, I would say we can start. Osvaldo?
Yeah,
You want
great.
me to share your screen?
Yeah, you can share my screen, and I will introduce the guide and talk about it. So, as we mentioned on the Profiter website, profiter.ai, we wrote a guide that goes deeply in a deep dive on Google Ads. So it is a 34-page report on Google's core product for the hospitality industry, and we cover every aspect of it, and we're very looking forward to receive comments on this guide in order to improve it and to bring to the hotels and to the vacation rental the instruments they need in order to do successful campaigns in this acquisition channel. Profiter, it's also part of Google for Startup. Google for Startup is helping us, and we are actually incubated in Paris in Welcome City Lab, which is an accelerator for tourism. And going to the guide that you can get at the link that I highlighted, we're covering all the aspects of Google Hotel Ads, and we start from the customer perspective. So if we go at the beginning of the guide, sorry for going to it very quickly, we can see on the screen where the user finds the hotel ads, because it's easy to say this regarding the hotels, but we also have to think about for the customers, where the customers see this advertising. So let's see where the hotels find these hotels. And basically they find it on desktop and on mobile and on voice. So Google is getting from the hotels the availability and prices, and is showcasing these hotels with their availability and prices when a user search for an hotel on a destination on desktop. So basically we'll search it on Google, and on mobile. These are showcased in the search result. For example, I have a search result here ready here. If I search for hotel in Rome, Google is going to showcase this screen where it shows me a list of hotels for starting from tomorrow through another date for 2 people in the city where I searched, and I simply searched hotels in Rome. And here, as you can see, Google is gonna do as an OTA. It is showing the hotels with their prices, and then I can choose one of these, and can have more pictures, and I can check availability for other dates, see reviews, and having an experience that is quite similar as an OTA, but it's not an OTA. Why it's not an OTA is because Google is showing the hotels from all the resellers that these hotels has, and luckily some hotels are also running their direct campaigns in order to show their prices directly to the guest. So this is very important because Google acts as a comparison site for prices and availability, so as a meta search in this particular product. And the same experience can be seen in Google Maps. So if I go on Google Maps, I am in a certain location, I search for hotels, I then see on the maps all the hotels that are in this location. So if I jump back and I want to see a map of all the hotels that I have in Rome connected with Google, I can see it with an experience very similar to Google Maps. And this is done by Google on desktop and on mobile with a similar experience. It is not exactly the same because it's very optimized for mobile, especially when it comes through displaying the content on the screen, but it's very similar. Google then aggregates all the content they have regarding travel in a portal that they have especially for travel, which is Google Travel. And in this website that you can reach at google.com/travel, you can find all the content that Google has regarding holiday rentals, hotels, flights, and also experiences. And you can search for hotels within there with a very similar experience and similar content. Then Google also allows its customer to search for hotel using their voice in their voice assistant. And Pablo from Mirai wrote a very good guide regarding this. And basically, if you're using a voice assistant, you can ask Google for prices of an hotel in a certain location, and up to now receive some basic answer. And this is a step in having in the future the possibility to book an hotel directly using your voice. So this sounds very exciting, and it's really good to see that we can showcase our product directly on Google, and probably most of our audience knew about this. But we want to go a little bit more in detail on how to run such campaigns, and especially as an hotelier. And this I'm asking it to Melanie. What are the pre-requirements that you consider very important in order to prepare yourself as an hotel before to go on a meta search, before to go on Google Hotel Ads?
Okay, yeah. Contrary to the OTA, it is you, property, that have to do this job about a lot of job about the prerequisites, especially on hotel content management on the Google channel. It is a lot of work to be done before going on the meta search websites. In fact, there are two information that are really good to go before to go on the meta search websites. It is the information about your property and around, and also information about your rooms, packages, services, activities to be booked. For the first subjects, you have to have a very organized website with clear sections. Responsive design, because on mobile, especially mobile, is more and more used by travelers. So your website has to be responsive. In your website, you have to be careful about all the information needed on your property: location, check-in, check-out, facilities, restaurants, menus, events, activities. All information that are really to reassure prospects about the consciousness of the team also. And there is very important things also is to have a Google My Business page, because it is used by Google in promotion in Google property promotion ads to examine the keywords of your property based on your Google My Business page. So it's very, very important to create a Google My Business page with all the information and the same of your website, and also the high quality pictures. To give an example, it is like in the storefront of a shop, your hotel has to be very sexy to invite prospects to enter your shop. You can add some video content, and also you have to manage your customer reviews that users can see on your Google My Business page and Google Hotel Ads, as you said, Osvaldo, and you have to answer to it, etc. So that's very important, and there are a lot of companies that helps authors about your reputation. And then it is important also to have good contents on your rooms, packages, services. It's better to have products that are on your direct channels, and especially on your direct channels reserved to your direct clients, to make a difference with the OTA and convert better the prospects. Extra services with your rooms to make them more attractive. Services, activities in art of your hotels as options. You have also to be very careful about your rate channel management. It's very important that you should propose some exclusive prices that are available only on your website to compete with lower prices than the OTAs. Anyway, it is important to know that at least one of the double occupancy offers should be at a lower rates than on the OTA, as it is one of the two metrics on the Google ranking on Google Hotel Ads, along with the bid amounts. Also, I want to add that the landing page of your reservation process should be very clear and responsive, as we said, because of there are more and more mobile users. The pictures also for the rooms with high quality. And I want to add also that it's better to have offers that are available and not on demand, because it is like if you tell someone with an advertisement to come to a workshop, but you get only the wrapping, but not the objects, that's a shame. So it is important to have available offers, and to make sure that your availability is in a long term also. And to control also, you communicate the accurate prices with the mandatory options and taxes, including the rates. Google check it to ascertain that the user will pay what is displayed at the end of the reservation process.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that you have to master before going to the meta search. You have to be very good about your hotel, but also on your room contents. Your offer should be very sexy for the prospects, with availability and well marketing. The information is given accurate, so that the experience is good between the meta search and your website. This question about the navigation experience is key for Google to keep Google users attached to them. So it is indeed particularly for mobile users one of the reasons they developed Book on Google, to allow people to stay on the same environment. So that is to say, Google, from the initial research through Google Property Promotion Ads to the choice of your property through Google Hotel Ads until the final booking through Book on Google. Usually on the classic OTAs, what you have to bear in mind, the OTAs handle all this marketing work, but on the meta search, it is your property that have to do all these efforts to promote and manage your distribution. It is very important to understand that before even thinking about connecting to Google Property Promotion Ads, Google Hotel Ads, and choosing your website redirection on or the Book on Google option. Because if you don't take into account this requirements, you won't be good after on the meta search if your prices are not good, or if your content is not good, or your reviews are not good. The people will see your ads, but don't even maybe click, but don't reserve, don't book. So you will spend budget for nothing. So it's very, very important to bear in mind the prerequisites before going on the meta searches.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
think you nail it. You nail it. The requirements are very, very important before to go in this kind of advanced distribution. But at the end of the day, what you explained, I would like to try to summarize it in: if you're selling a product, be sure to show this product in its best way at the correct price, because the user from Google will see everything about your product. So he will see reviews, he will see pictures, he will see prices compared to other prices. So,
Right.
like is doing, you Melanie, summarized very quickly, and I thank you for this. The homeworks that you have to do before to go online in with such a high exposure on Google with your product. So you have to be sure that your product is prepared. One question I have more for you, Melanie, is if we're talking about prices, these are price advertising. So basically, like other meta search, Google is showing the prices from different resellers. So some large hotels or chains, as you know, have to work with wholesalers in order to get volumes and to reach markets that they have difficulties in order to reach by themselves. So for them, the challenge is with prices with these wholesalers, or to customers of wholesalers, small OTAs. It is difficult to have a control of the price that you have, and also be sure to always have the lower prices than the others. And also, it's a battle of the lowest price, which is not actually always good. What you suggest to an hotel that works with wholesaler to do in Google Hotel Ads?
There are a lot of technology tools that helps hotel to manage their the rates, and to see what to have another view of your prices, your competition prices, and your prices on all the OTAs. So there are tools, technological tools that can help people, and to maybe to ask some experts about an help on the rate channel management. But in fact, anyway, it's very important to have a multi-channel strategy and be present everywhere. Just think about your products, not only on your price, because if you have a good product, even if your prices are higher, you can compete with other OTAs, because your products, if there are more services, or if you offer something and you have offers that are only on your website, you may compete with the OTAs. There is not only the rates, but it's important as well. And what is also a point to calculate is your acquisition rates. So you can compare your acquisition rates on Google channel and on your other channels, because sometimes people, properties, think that Google is expensive, but they didn't calculate even their direct channel costs. So it's very important to have a great overview about that. And there are several, maybe we are going to talk about that. There are several business models on Google. There are CPC, PPC, PPS. So there are a lot of participation models possible that will be better for some people, and for other people, they will prefer one or another. So if you have, for example, the pay per stay model, you don't pay a cost per click. So if it is only when you have reservation that you pay something. So it's quite secure. So maybe you can do you can do better prices to have clients in your hotels as well, because on Google, the main advantage is that you get the clients emails and contacts, so you can you can do like a follow-up fidelization. I don't know how do you say that, but you can use it to fidelize people on your hotel, and that's also a very important thing compared to the OTA. Or you don't have the clients, it's the clients of the OTA, not yours. And in Google, it is still your clients. So it's very important. It's like on your direct website. It's a channel that you have to take into account that it's a kind of direct channel compared to the OTAs because of that.
The clients, you get the customer details and you can use it for your loyalty programs.
Yes, loyalty. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. So we are shared between French, Italians, and any one of us is working abroad. So most of us is spread around Europe. So we have a mixture of culture here that is going to compensate each other as well. So what Google introduced recently is the possibility for advertisers to do campaigns on Google Hotel Ads, even if you're not properly an hotel. I mean, if you are a vacation rental, if you are renting your own apartment and you want to display your own rates on Google directly, because it doesn't mean that if you are on Google Hotel Ads through an OTA, it doesn't mean that you're there directly. You're there directly if you're using your own prices and your own availabilities through a channel manager, through an internet booking engine, or even directly if you want with Google, and you're showcasing your direct sales. So a company that covered this very well because they are very expert in the vacation rental industry is Rental United. And Vanessa, you wrote a guide, very comprehensive, regarding vacation rental advertising on Google Hotel Ads. So can you talk to us a little bit about how vacation rental can benefit from this kind of advertising and turn this in a real sales channel?
Thanks, Osvaldo, and congratulations to Melanie. Lots of tips there. I'm no expert, but I hope people had a pen and a paper to follow all your tips, because there were a lot of them. So on my side, I'm not an expert of Google Hotel Ads, and the reason being that in the vacation rental industry, we cannot yet bid in the hotel ads world. But what I can do is give you kind of a lowdown of what's happening in terms of vacation rentals on Google. And we are present in an area called Google Vacation Rentals, which is a subcategory of Google Travel. So unless you you have a building, your service apartment building, you have a full-time check-in desk, you're able to welcome people that pass by, you're not considered a hotel, right? So where you think vacation rentals, different units in different buildings, we're not eligible for Google Hotel Ads, but we are eligible for Google Vacation Rentals. And so today, if you go onto Google Vacation Rentals on Google Travel and you filter by vacation rentals, which only recently has become even more prominent with a special tab for us, you can see results from OTAs. Quite a few OTAs. They've come and gone. We have Booking.com and sub-brands Agoda. You have TripAdvisor, Holiday Lettings, Casamundo, and you had Airbnb at one point, but Airbnb just took their listings off just now in August. So one wonders why that is, maybe to protect the brand, and then you also wonder why Booking.com is there for the marketing mix. I can imagine those CMOs are having a conundrum about to be there or not to be there. But anyway, so you have the OTAs that obviously have vacation rentals and represent us. And the wonderful thing about it is it's free. right now because we can't bid, as I said. And then we also have very large property managers in the US, too, Vacasa and Turnkey, as far as I know, that have direct connections to Google Vacation Rentals. And then you have a handful of tech providers like ourselves, Rentals United, where through us as a property manager, you can be present on Google Vacation Rentals today, and this at no cost, apart from obviously you being the merchant of record, taking payments. But you get your brand out there, you get to show your pricing, as you said, your availability, and so I very much encourage any vacation rental manager listening in today to try this out, because as I said, it's free, and in the times that we live in, you want as many eyeballs as possible on your listings, right, on your products. So that's basically what's going on so far.
Osvaldo, I
Yeah.
have a question from the audience. I'll show you
Yeah.
that on the screen. It's a more generalistic, not really specific, but it would be nice to have your point, guys. So Victor's saying, I think if you want to control your product on a website, so your direct channel, you need to have a good partners. That's for sure. I agree 100%. And no more than 1-2 bed banks. One agreement with a TO, tour operator in the region, they are more important, and taking more clients for your property, etc. What do you think about that? It's a really generalistic. It's not really focusing on Google Hotel Ads, but this is a view from Victor, and you can share your thoughts. Filippo, maybe.
I agree with Victor. And I think that when you're running this business in a very professional way, you will start understand that it's kind of a trading. So I consider it very similar to the financial trading, because on one hand, you have to do volume. So you have to do a lot of sales, and you have to bring home revenue in order to pay for your employees, for the real estate, and all this on. But these sales are gonna cost you money in a way or in another, or you pay commission, or you pay for advertising, or you give very low prices agreements to wholesalers and tour operators. So control all these sales channels is quite tricky, it's difficult, because you have to bring home the revenue with low cost of commissions, so a good margin, a good profit. And you want to also bring home volumes, because if you're having prices, for example, very aggressive, and you're going to the sales channel that costs less, probably you want to bring home the volumes of night sales that you wanted to bring home. And so the next stage will probably give a lot of availabilities to the wholesalers and tour operators and business travel, and you probably bring to the hotel a lot of night sales without having the possibility to have good profit out of them, because you will lose the control of your distribution. So it's complicated. The tools that are on the market are quite good. Here on stage we have AdsHotel, Rental United, which are some very good tools in order to run campaigns or to have a channel manager that helps you in your distribution. Overall, the hotelier, it is like in a trading market where he has to sell his own product at the best condition possible. And this is what we're building with Propriety. It is something that helps you allocate your inventory in a predictive way, so in advance, and in order to get the most out of your inventory without being cannibalized by sales channels that run very fast and take a lot of your product at very low price. And Vanessa, I have a question for you. If yeah.
Hello.
So you know more than me regarding vacation rental on Google and on Google Travel in general. So you mentioned that vacation rental cannot bid as hotels. But if I own a single vacation rental by myself and I want to go direct on advertising my property on the vacation rental section of Google Travel. How I can do?
No, you can't.
I can't.
Simple answer. No, you have to go through somebody like us, and then you have to be accepted. So you can't go direct. What you can do is obviously use AdWords and and advertise your company that way. But in terms of that special travel section, you can't access without a partner, which is the same as Google Hotel Ads, right? You need to have an integration partner in order to be there. So it's the same with us, and we expect that we're going to go into the footsteps of the hotel industry, in the sense that we're going to be able to bid eventually, hopefully, and then we will need integration partners. You can't go by yourself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I got another question. Sorry to interrupt you, Osvaldo.
Yeah.
I will drive this question to Filippo. Need your suggestion on that topic, on one topic. With your vision, do you think OTAs and meta search platform can coexist? Filippo.
Wow. I mean, very probably meta search platform doesn't even exist without OTAs, because remember, those are the most interesting publishers in terms of revenues, okay? Just to give you some hints, $5 billion per year from Booking and Expedia, okay? So, yes, of course, but in the meantime, that's the beauty of what we have developed and released, because we let every single independent hotel, especially as Vanessa is doing within the vacation rental, compete in the same scenario, in the same arena of those big guys. And when I say big guys, I mean in terms of technology, in terms of resources, in terms of marketing, in terms of cash, everything, okay? So the chance here is to compete in the same arena of the big OTAs. So yes, they will continue OTAs, of course, and actually regain their role, because as we all know, in this moment, all the different CPC, so the cost per click, is even lower compared to the previous, because Booking and Expedia first decrease their spending. But all of them, I mean, from Trivago to TripAdvisor, we notice that there's a lot of people in furloughed, etc. But all of them are still very competing, and say also, and I can also say, they are really releasing amazing results to all the independent hotels all over the world. So it is a good battle. We wanted to be there. And just to nail it, one more thing. Victor was basically right. I mean, everything is connected. So if you wanted to take a control, as Melanie said before, and Osvaldo as well, of your rates, you should not be using, tons of different bed banks, wholesalers, etc. So it's a matter of choose a few distribution system, and remember that each of them will be a competitor when it comes to marketing, when it comes to advertisers, because every single distribution OTA that you are running will be competing with you in order to get that traveler direct for them to their website, for the hotel to the official website of the hotel. Sorry, talk too much.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah. I can, Enzo, do you have some other question, or can I go on?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. I would like to talk a little bit of the approach that we noticed that Google has with travel in general and with the hospitality industry. So as I mentioned, as Profiter, we are a startup and we are supported by Google for Startup program. And when you are having such an experience of developing a product, you understand their way of developing a product, which is something that is very agile and pass through a lot of tests. So as hotelier, we struggle to cope with all the news that Google is bringing to the market and that is doing and is changing, and it is very difficult to cope with all the new things. And we will mention some of these after this talk. But the approach that they have is really like a startup. So when they have a minimum viable product, so they have something they want to test, they just put it on the market. So we see new features, new things continuously on Google Hotel Ads and in Google on travel in general. Some of these they bring it over and they improve it and they change it constantly in order to have a better product, and some other they just abandoned. And mm, for example, now we call it Google Hotel Ads, but before was another product, was called Google Price, hotel price ads, and before of this it was Google Hotel. It was different names, different product, and it changed a lot, and will probably continue like this, especially in the vacation rental when the things are quite new, and as Vanessa said, it is in a development. So let's talk about the new things that Google introduced on this product, and just tell you what they are, what they mean, and let's see if they're gonna go through, or they're gonna be abandoned, or released in a better way. So recently, Google introduced a way of paying for the advertising after the guest stay in the hotel. And this is a model of paying for the advertising very similar to commissions, but it's paid when the guest successfully stay in the hotel. So how does it work? Google does an advertising for the hotel. The hotel doesn't have to pay for the clicks, and so it is like a commission mode, and this commission is paid once the hotel do a reconciliation file with Google and say, okay, I had this guest that you sent me, they successfully spent the holiday or their stay in my hotel, and so at the end of the month, Google is going to invoice these to the hotels. So the new thing regarding this model, comparing to the commission mode they had before, is not only the fact that you're paying after the guest stays in the hotel, so after the reconciliation file, but the new thing is that the algorithm that is going to calculate for Google how much to invest in a hotel in order to understand before how much revenue they are going to have for the advertising is changed. Before of this change, Google had a commission mode that used to bring very low volumes of sales for a very low risk for the hotel. So again, we have a parallel with the financial world. If you want to have low risk, you're going to have low profits, low revenues. If you want to risk more and run your campaigns directly in pay-per-click, you will probably have to learn more things and have more detailed control of what's going on, and you have a little bit higher risk and higher possibility of getting revenue through this sales channel. Another thing that we talk about in the guide is the property promotion ads. Property promotion ads is the possibility of being on top of the destination page.
You want me to share the screen, Osvaldo?
Yeah, you can share the screen.
Okay.
And
1 second, no?
we can talk about this thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So in property promotion ads, you can be on top of the destination page when a user search for an hotel, for example, in Rome. We saw that we have a ranking of hotels that comes through in the example we had before. Sorry, here. We have a list of hotels, and the rankings that we have in these are rankings that Google have through different criteria. One of these criteria is the possibility for paying for being on top of the list. So you see that you have written here advertising, and these hotels are actually paying for being on top of the list, and this is an additional cost that you have for having an higher exposure, as happened in other meta search. And this thing is quite new. We cover it in the guide and we explain it of how to do it, and it's the kind of thing that Google is testing right now. And regarding this type of things, I don't want to be too specific in this talk because it's going to be a technical talk. But overall, it is good to test them as an hotelier. But on the other hand, it's not good to be, I would say, slave to these news that Google is bringing to the market and having on focus just to test every kind of advertising. You should get the control of what these campaigns are going to bring to you in order to conversion. And that's the question I would like to ask to Filippo. It is what you think about all this news that Google is bringing to the market, property promotion ads, and the different kind of paying for this kind of advertising, like for example, enhanced CPC or pay per stay. In general, as you see them comparing to running your own campaigns and having your own ROI from the campaigns.
Thank you, Osvaldo. You perfectly got it. I mean, we, all of us, from many different angles, we are testing the new release for Google. That's the bottom line. Because every single time Google is releasing products, just to give you the hint, even property promotion ads are still in beta mode. So there's a limit of number of ads running simultaneously and blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is, I'm incredibly keen, to be honest, for the early adopters, etc., because I'm in this industry. But from another angle, I think that everything should be done step by step. Okay, you cannot go to climb Everest if you never jump into a hill. Okay, so something like that. So let's imagine in this way. A property promotion ad could be a sort of booster of your price ads campaign. And as Osvaldo was saying, price ads campaign could be run within very different business models. So CPC, cost per click, more risky, but even more profitable. CPA, cost per acquisition, less risky, but still of course, less profitable. And the last one, as Osvaldo was saying, the PPS. PPS is pay per stay, so is the revamped of the previously so-called former commission program from Google. Your let's say the commission itself will become eligible, as we were saying, only after the checkout. But in the meantime, you have no control of your campaign. So let's do it in this way. You should start to get confident within price advertising. Melanie at the very beginning was talking about your price. Of course, your price is a sort of quality score. If you run a price at 20 euros more expensive to Expedia or Booking, this will affect your result. If your web reputation is incredibly bad, this will affect your result into this kind. But the beauty is, let's give it a try to almost every hotel in the world. So you got the chance to test on your own, to build your own case history, and then probably add more pieces, because I'm incredibly keen about the property promotion ads. That could be a booster, so an increase in terms of sales and volume first. And in this difficult moment for our industry, more volume could be nice, of course. Then what we have to do, we need to run an advertisement and then monitor, because it's it's still incredible to me that some advertisements, some campaigns are doing without any tracking tool. I mean, it seems like to be blindfold. Okay, what we have today is the chance to monitor everything. So my prompt to the hotel is connect and take all the opportunities to compete in the same scenario of the big OTAs, build your own case history, analyze your data, understand how your rates stand among the OTAs, then add more to that. Because as soon as you'll be profitable, why not add more within property promotion ads? Even Trivago is doing sponsored ads, TripAdvisor, etc. So it's a matter of doing the things step by step, starting from what is totally free, as Melanie said at the beginning. So your Google My Business, for instance, take the ownership of it. This is just a free suggestion, but no, I mean, it's very important. So take it, put the right images, have care about your reputation, because your reputation is not just into the hotel, is all over the internet as well. So it's a matter of different bricks, everything together that will make a very nice wall. And to be honest, the results that could be achievable are quite amazing. I mean, our best performance run advertisement that has a cost, if you convert into a percentage, less than 5%. In the meantime, for some other, it is a nightmare. So we have no magic wand. It's a matter of give it a try, do the right steps one after the other one, and then approach it to the very latest. But once that you are already confident, already skilled, and you already collected the data to analyze.
Yeah, thank you very much, Filippo. Also, I would like to ask you a question which commercially probably is not going to be very, very interesting for you, but Google is in the new things is trying to democratize the product and giving the availability to the hotels to send their own rates and inventory directly to Google through an XML file, which is a text file. So this sounds good, but as you're an integration partner and you know how many requests Google is asking you to your servers technically for getting the prices and the availability for a single hotel. So can you please explain to hotels that would like to try to do their own campaign directly, what does it mean technically to update a file with every single availability for every single future night and update it with every change that you have, with the prices that have to be always good for Google.
I guess everyone already understood from your words that is incredibly technical. But you know what? That's just at the top of the iceberg, because sharing rates and availability means to enable this kind of advertisement. But when it comes to the word, to the strength, it's about the ROI you will be able to generate. Because if your bidding strategy for each single country, for each device, for each length of stay, etc., will be not set properly, then you can pay a lot for single clicks, for bookings, etc. So it's not just a matter of sharing, that is already a sort of nightmare for an independent hotel, sharing rates and availability in a live environment. Just to give you the hint, to maintain the so-called price accuracy. So to ensure that the price shown into Google will be the same available into the landing page, into the booking engine of the hotel, we do about 10,000 requests per day. Okay, in order to always assure the accuracy. But that's at the top of the iceberg. Then you have to do the proper ROI, and to do that, you have to set all the bidding strategy properly for each single country, each device, etc. So we solve it via the technology, because, okay, if you are a super expert and your job is not to be an hotelier, but to be a marketer, you maybe can do it by your own, manually, analyzing all the data, etc. But otherwise, you should really rely on a very well technology, because it's a sort of factorial terms, okay? And everyone grouped together means thousands of different variations. So it's simply incredibly hard. Okay, let's say.
Melanie, and you can lose tons of money, right? I mean, you can lose tons of money doing that.
Yeah,
even AdWords, if you go into it without knowing what you're doing, poof.
That would be crazy. And also, you know, conversion rate, etc. Melanie, you have probably something to add if I'm wrong.
Yes, I wanted to add something on the participation models. You talked about the risks of the different participation model. I would add that, for example, as you say, cost per click is risky. But you have to bear in mind that if your average shopping basket, because it's very important, if it's low, your ROI will be lower. It could be very good for maybe more for 4 stars or 5 stars properties, as your average shopping basket is higher. So when you have a reservation, the cost per click.
I understand what you mean, but just to give you some hints, I'm running 5-star hotels within an amazing ADR, and in the meantime, I'm running 3 houses in the middle of Costa Rica, up on the trees. Okay, so very, very small properties. Because the cost per click will be, let's say, somehow connected to the total amount of stay, it is always fair. I mean, I'm able to generate, it's not because of me, it's because of many different factors, but I'm able to generate amazing ROI, like per 15, per 20. So it's about 5% for very, very small properties, but even for big properties. So let's say it depends. Once we and Osvaldo were talking about the right target, and I guess Osvaldo really nailed it, is what we call smart hotelier. So if you are in charge within your hotel, if you care about your reputation, if you care about your loyalty program, if you care about your rates, you manage all of those things, then you can have amazing results within probably some clever tools. But is it possible? Let's say in this way, for every level of properties.
Yeah.
Can I ask you very simple, basic, and probably stupid, regarding the paper stay? What is the commission the hotel pay for this type of advertising?
Okay. Until last year, within the commission program, there was a minimum level of commission of 10% to 50%. Okay,
50.
Can you imagine? Okay,
I wouldn't say that.
I swear, some hotel chains apply
It's a
within
crowdfunding. It's not the distribution platform Google now.
Anyway, there is no more minimum and no more maximum. So from 0% to 100%. To be honest, everything less than say 10%
Doesn't produce anything.
almost. I mean, you know what? It's like jumping in the bus of Google. So you don't really know where Google will drive you. Okay, you put some money, you put 10%, 12, 8, whatever, and then you wait for results. That's why I like much more the CPC, because I would be able to drive to do not, advertise in India or Australia, because those are not my markets. So to drive my car where I want. That's the main difference. But you can give it a try to one system. If it is not profitable, you can change it to another one. So it is a matter of give it a try. Really, believe me.
Based on your
experience, opportunity.
Based on your experience, and hotels are using this paper stay method, what is the right commission? You see that hotels are actually producing, because they're using this average commission model.
How many competitors, so how many OTAs are competing for that specific hotel? If you are a small hotel in the middle of nowhere, could be a very low budget, like 6-8% maybe. But in the meantime, if you are in a city art, if you're in a big, let's say, leisure destination, then the competition would be much higher. So let's say from 10 to 15% could be the right one. But once again, it really depends from one hotel to another one. But you can even give it a try and then switch to another one. But I mean, it's a little bit complex.
From the vacation rental point of view, is the same?
The same. In terms of bidding, we don't have bidding.
We don't have bidding.
You can decide.
You weren't listening, Enzo.
Sorry?
You weren't listening.
No,
we don't have bidding.
You cannot decide the commission level?
No, it's free. It's free. It's like 0%.
No, didn't get you. Sorry. If I am a vacation rental.
Yeah.
And through an aggregator like you, because I cannot go directly on Google. I use
free.
your platform. You distribute your room through Google Travel in the vacation rental vertical.
Yeah.
How much
It's,
cost a reservation for the hotel?
it's free.
It's free?
That's why we encourage everybody to be on there.
Vacation
So,
rental,
do you have a couple of rooms? Do you have a couple of rooms in your house? We can give it a try to Vanessa.
Let's turn our hotels into apart hotel. So I don't know, somehow.
No,
Anyway,
if you have an apart hotel,
get this point, honestly, but
As Osvaldo was saying, Google is changing on a daily basis. Okay,
yes, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
we don't know. I don't think they know themselves what's going to happen. So
cool.
Well, this is a nice scenario.
Yeah. Well, we covered all these quite good in the guide that we're going to link below this live streaming. And also Vanessa covered the vacation rental aspect of Google ads for vacation rental, and we're going to link their guide as well. Melanie wrote the pre-requirements that she spoke about, and we're going to add it to the content because she was so good of doing her homework before the live streaming that she wrote everything down. And also to you, Filippo, if you have something from your blog that you think it is interesting for the viewers to see, we're going to link this as well to have comprehensive guides of what we said. We wanted to keep this in an hour, so we had some highlights. The thing that we understood is these advertising campaigns, they have some risk because you have to invest money in order to get bookings, and you have to control the result that you get from these investments. And we highlighted how to get the most out of it. And for the vacation rental industry is something new. And Vanessa, I'm sure you will continue to cover it. And so we'll probably see if there are some other questions from the viewers.
Hi, Federica, and Federica is part of Funnel TV. Hi, Federica. Thanks for.
Federica.
She's asking this to Vanessa. She understood that it's free of charge, but do you think at some point Google will turn this into a profit market or what?
I think so. I mean,
for free here.
I think it would make sense for them to try and make some more money out of it, right? Or some money out of it. So I think they will follow in the steps of their hotel ads. And we, in the background as providers, we are starting to get ready for that. So I'm gonna talk to Filippo after this and see, if we can connect already. I'm talking to other partners to see how we can facilitate bidding through our platform via providers like hotel ads.
Cool, that's great. So you have already a lead generated in this panel, Vanessa and Filippo. You already exchanging business, guys. Good. That's great.
It's all about partnerships. Yeah.
All right, go your words, Osvaldo.
Yeah, I think it is important to understand that when Google is launching a product, they collect data. So it seems like for a vacation rental now, it's free for the property, but on the other hand, Google is collecting data. So this is bringing value to them to understand how these things works for customer, how it works for vacation rental, and they did the same for hotels. So they will go on in developing the product. And the integration partners, we have the roles in it. Here at HyperGuest and Rentals United, they are two integration partners. And the hotels, they have the portal in which they can be informed directly from Google regarding this sales channel. And the startups as profiter in the travel industry, in the distribution, they help in hotels in order to allocate their resources in order to get the most out of their product and their inventory. So that's the overview here, and for sure we're gonna share the link to the guide and to the content that we spoke about in this talk.
Yeah, just a quick highlight for this. To to all of you, Vanessa, Filippo, Melanie, and Osvaldo. Anything you have to share, please make sure you add this link also in the comments in this live show later. Maybe there was some question we were not able to answer. You can reply directly on the comments and adding your links. So anything, so that will help, viewers to reach out your contents easily.
Okay, great. We'll do that.
All right. So we are at the end. Any words to close that? Vanessa, you want to add more? Melanie, Filippo, feel free to add more.
Thanks so much. Happy to answer any questions separately. My email is vanessa@rentalsunited.com. So happy to answer anything.
Perfect. How can people
put it in the
reach out to
comments.
you also, Melanie and Filippo?
Thank you for the exchange, and we will share our insights, and we could obviously talk about the subject out of this live to continue and exchange our insights with people, properties, and with us. I will be happy to share tips with people. So do not hesitate to ask questions. And
Okay.
Great.
All right, guys. Thank you for your time. Thanks, Osvaldo, for putting together this interesting agenda. How can people reach out to you and get to know more about Profiter?
Yeah, Profiter has a website, profiter.ai, and we have 3 co-founders, there's 4 of us. You can join us, info@profiter.ai, and these are our connections. Then we have our blog, our social network pages, but basically we have everything on the website.
Cool. All right. Thank you, guys. I will leave you this and music showing you the next event live streaming, which is going live after tomorrow, the 10th, Distribution 2.0. It's going to be a very insightful agenda. Again, 3 hour and half no stop of live streaming. This is going to be really insane, guys. So I'm a crazy guy. I like to stay hours and hours. And Vanessa is going to be there again. We will see Vanessa again on a chapter related to vacation rental. And anyway, he's going to discuss about the distribution, history of distribution. Anyway, I will leave you this video at the end of this chapter now, and you can see the entire agenda, the topics, the speakers, and so on. All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'll see you online.
Bye.
Bye.
See you at the next. Bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao. Ciao.